From musicians and entertainers to icons and actors, I've talked with some pretty fascinating people with some amazing stories. I'm Wisdom Martin, and I'm giving you an inside look and candid conversations with some of the biggest movers and shakers. It's time for a moment of wisdom, not just any moment of wisdom. A major moment of wisdom. This is major, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah,
yes,
always good to see you.
You know, man, anytime I'm in D.C., I got to see my brother.
And I
Because, you know,
that.
the major wisdom duo,
yeah,
we got something special.
It's unbeatable
Yes, absolutely.
and undefeated. So first of all, I want you to tell me about any new project that you have going on.
I was here for the my tour, the I Prayed For You live tour. I stopped by Club K, Studio K at the Kennedy Center. You know, with all of the controversy and stuff, I felt like I had a mission to really lean into this message of hope in love, life, and in future to help us realize that we can't do this life alone. We're stronger together. I sang. Man, I gave them a show.
You did. You always.
Man, when I tell you wisdom, I sang like nobody been.
Rick, give me a second. Wait.
I said, I said a prayer for you. I said a prayer. Listen, I sang. And then of course, you know, I did this is why I love you. And everybody went crazy.
Yeah.
I acted like I didn't know they were gonna go crazy, but it was a good time, man. DC always shows up for me.
Yeah, they always do. All right, so let's talk about. Let's go back to your humble beginnings. When did you start? When did you realize, okay, I'm major and I'm going to start singing?
3 years old, Wisdom.
3 years old.
Zoom in.
Zoom in.
3
okay.
years.
3 years old. Okay.
Absolutely. That's it. They zooming in. 3 years old, I told my mama I wanted to be a famous singer and a pastor. Believe it or not. I was so impressed with how my uncle, who was a pastor at the time, shout out to Uncle Alvin, who was just this phenomenal speaker that every time he got on that stage, I remember people crying and laughing and just feeling like they had no worries. I said, I want to do that, and I want to be a famous singer. And my mom put me in music classes immediately. Shout out to Wright's Music Studio. And I went to performing arts schools all my life, including the High School for the Performing and Visual Arts, known for Robert Glasper, LaToya Luckett, some very modest artists who just won Album of the Year, rhymes with fiance. Beyonce.
Yes.
So I've been at this thing for a minute. Went on to do an intensive with the Houston Grand Opera, Juilliard, and then Berklee College of Music for my undergrad. So I put in work for this.
You did put in work.
Yeah.
So you didn't just wake up and it's been a journey.
It's been a journey.
It has been a journey.
I kind of have some natural talent, you know, of course, but yeah, I put in work. Yeah.
All right. So normally when people have journeys like this, it's not an easy road. It is not an easy road, especially in the entertainment world. So talk a little bit about some of the challenges you face, some of the ups and downs that you had to overcome to get to this point.
Bruh, not an easy road is correct. It has been an uphill the entire way. But I will say that there are moments where I get to see that the sacrifice, the endurance was all worth it. I have been nominated for a Grammy, 2 times Soul Train, 9 times Image Award. I've been acknowledged most recently with St. Jude for my work as an ambassador with the first ever Champion Spirit Award. I am like literally seeing that the seed of hard work and consistency and excellence was worth it, but bruh, it'll exhaust you. And I think that makes me appreciate it all the more, because if it was easy, I don't think I would really value it, you know. So I'm trying to say it that way.
Right, no, I understand.
To make up for these tears.
You know what, at any point during the journey though, did you say, okay, maybe I need to go do something else? Or, because you know, sometimes people, when they go through things, they're like, okay, maybe I need to switch gears and go in another direction.
I never thought maybe I should do something else as in replace of, I did say, well, maybe I should do something else in addition to, because one, it's not easy to get to a point where you can live off of your music. You have to literally hit a mark. That song, Why I Love You,
Right.
you know wisdom.
Yes.
That song is my calling card.
Right.
I can go places all around the world now, and people find out that I'm the voice behind that song. It changes things. And so to have a platinum record has made the difference for me. But I have a degree. My degree was in music business marketing. So the business piece, I was like, listen, I'll work in an office until it works. But the moment I went all in on my music, it made room for me. My gift made room for me. I am living out my dreams. The extra that I do is because I just want more. But I'm making a living off of my art, and that was the dream.
Right. That one song, though, that
Yes.
one song took you to the stratosphere.
Bruh.
How did you come up with that song? Because we've talked about this in the past.
You just want me to tell these people that it wasn't just a simple story of just love, and I just had to express it. It was my affinity for chicken salad sandwiches. I was on set of a web series called Flawed. Shout out to the late Jason Fredericks, who passed a couple years ago due to cancer, but super brilliant creative. He's the brother of a comedian by the name of Kev on Stage. And he had this web series called Flawed. It's low budget. Very low budget. And anytime you do low budget productions, especially in Cali, the lunch is pizza from Little Caesars, or we have sandwiches from Subway. We had sandwiches. And I'm particular. I've been high maintenance all my life, not rich, high maintenance. Even when we were growing up in the hood, I expected the best, And so they said, sandwiches it is. And I said, what kind do you have? And they had turkey, ham, and veggie. And I said, I don't want any of that. They said, what kind, Major? My brother Jor-El Quinn is playing lullaby music on the piano in the dressing room, the fellowship hall, because we couldn't afford a dressing room.
Right.
And so I started, just a melody came over me, and I said, chicken salad sandwich. I want a chicken salad
Are you joking?
sandwich. You know I ain't joking, because I'm hungry. Bruh, we posted that at the start of Instagram. It goes viral. And at this time, viral for Instagram was 1,000 views. You're welcome. I was killing them. I went viral. My producer at the time, Harmony, said, bro, where did you get that song? I said, it just came to me. He said, it's a hit. I said, I know, right? We should probably pitch it to Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or something. And he says, no, take the song down and come to the studio. And I said, first of all, I'm a grown man, so don't tell me what to do. And he said, no, it's a hit. I promise you. I hear something. He says, come to the studio. I took it down, because he has a few plaques. So I'm going to take his word for it. I get to the studio. The hook fell right then. He says, we got to sing about love. And the words just started to come. And then we had a song that over 150 million alone on YouTube. Millions, 500 million streams collectively. This song has literally changed my life. And when I got serious, it was a love letter that I wrote to God, and love wrote me back to help people really realize how to do this love thing on earth as it is in heaven.
Right.
Bruh, I could just live off this song.
But I
got more.
You got more. You got a lot more. It's interesting because when I first met you, a long time ago, and I said you were coming in the studio, the lady that was working with me at the time, she said, Major, I played that song at my wedding. This is Why I Love You. I played it at my wedding. And then I looked it up, and I was like, this is huge.
This is huge, yes. Oh, yeah, the first time you ever
heard. The very first time I ever met you, yes.
From weddings to funerals to baby showers to proposals to makeups and breakups, like, It is in churches, but I literally saw that, but to experience it in real time, it hits different. I've been a dreamer all my life. Nothing is like impossible for me in the way that I dream and the way my faith is set up.
Right.
That's why they call me the hope dealer. You know what I mean?
Hope dealer.
Wisdom,
Yes.
hope,
Wisdom,
major.
hope, major.
You know.
It's all in the same atmosphere. So look, what we're going to do now is talk about something that's going to inspire, inform, and impact someone's life because you're
Yes.
always so positive.
Yeah.
How do you manage to stay
For the most part.
For the most part. Because I know I'm sure you have your days and your moments.
Because I'm human.
Because you're human.
Yeah.
How do you stay so positive most of the time?
I do to a degree think it's a byproduct of my upbringing. My parents pushed this sense of you can command life to fall in line with your positivity as long as you choose it. My current message today, as I've learned in life, is choose joy anyway. Choose joy anyway. And our circumstances have no other choice but to fall in line. When I realized joy was not predicated on things looking a certain way, when I learned that, it shifted the way that I did life. But I've always been one who chose to see the beauty in the moment. I can laugh in some of the toughest times. Now, mind you, I feel. So I can also be annoyed in the toughest times. But there's something that always dares me to go a little bit further and agree that just like the last storm, we're going to get out of this one too, because every storm runs out of rain. And hope made the difference in my life. Joy has made the difference in my life. Prayer has made the difference in my life. You know, we're men of faith.
Right.
It's made the difference in our lives. And so I've just locked in, and that's the key to it all.
That's the key to everything, right?
Yeah.
So, and real quick, I know you've done some work on stage as well.
Yeah.
You've done some stage.
Because I'm an actor.
Yeah. Yes, right.
Yes, I'm an actor. You remember the last time I was here? I was at your church, First Baptist Church of Glenard.
Yes,
of course, for the
Jenkins,
annual Some Way, Somehow. I'm an actor. This is my actor disposition, if you will. I don't know if you also knew that I've been on a few sitcoms from Star. I was Queen Latifah's son on the hit sitcom Star, and also, well, it wasn't a sitcom, it was a drama. And also, I was Curtis Mayfield in the Genius Aretha with Cynthia Erivo and Courtney B. Vance for Aretha Franklin's story, and most recently on an affiliate station, because I don't know if I can just call out a network.
We don't need to call out any other affiliates.
A TV show called Found, but your brother is also an actor.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. How challenging is that when you consider how your music and then the acting? Not at all?
I show up in all of it. I show up in all of it. Listen, you give me the opportunity, I will deliver.
You will deliver.
Listen, I love it. I love it so much so, man. I think that's the experience. Even in my shows, man, you have yet to get to one of my full shows. You've just been seeing clips, and I'm like, Wisdom, I thought we were brothers.
I'm coming. I'm
Okay.
coming. I'm
All
coming.
right. But even at my show, this I Prayed For You tour that I'm taking all over the country. It is very reminiscent of like a modern day Rat Pack. It's like Rat Pack, those, when Sammy and Sinatra used to have the commentary, they'll tell stories and then they'll go in between songs. Like the experience that we give, it's the major experience. And I Prayed For You is my new message that I'm getting to the people. Bro, we just broke top 15 on Billboard. We in there, bro.
Yeah, you're doing it. You're doing it.
Yeah.
And I always appreciate you always coming and giving me some love and showing up.
Yes,
so
sir.
I appreciate your moment of wisdom.
A moment of wisdom.
With Major.
Listen, the word that I have for you is to choose joy anyway. Because beautiful people, hope ain't ever canceled. That's Major's moment of wisdom. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Get up, DC!
Major, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up next.
I love that for a living I get to use my powers of curiosity and empathy to play different characters and step into new worlds.
Actress Brook Nevin on using her talents and artistry to tackle new challenging roles. Time for a moment of wisdom, and I have with me actress Brook Nevin. She's done a lot of different things, but her current project is I don't know, Brooke. How would you describe the name of this? Maybe I'll let you say it because this streaming show is kid friendly.
Yes. Well, we're gonna just go with F, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
And I know it is a little risky for network television, but we tried Date, Wedded, Bliss, Unalive, and it didn't have the same ring to it.
It didn't work. Well, hey, look, you got people's attention with it, so yeah. So tell me a little bit about this current project that's out right now.
Okay, well, if I could describe it in a sentence, it's a dark comedy thriller about a newly 30 single woman who dives back into the online dating game. Just as a serial killer starts targeting women exactly like her. And she's juggling three potential love interests. So one might be her future husband, one might be a one night stand, and one might literally be a murderer. So, classic dating struggles.
Right. Yeah. Some of the things that people have to deal with when they're dating. What is it about this movie that attracted you to it, or this show?
Well, certainly when as soon as I read the script, it had such a fast-paced, fun, modern comedic tone to it, and I started reading it for my character, but then very quickly was just drawn into the fun, twisty, unhinged comedic plot of the movie. And it's just a really fun ride. And I think women in particular, but anybody who's, been unhinged or involved in online dating game will find it uncomfortably relatable.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's good too. Uncomfortably relatable. Love it. All right. So when you're doing something like this, are there things that you do? You're a veteran of this. It's not your first rodeo, but when you're doing things like this, is there something that you have to get into the mindset for, or are there things that you do to put you in the mindset for the character in the dark movie that you're about to do?
Yes. Well, absolutely. I mean, it's dark, but it's also very funny. And my character in particular, I play Lucy Hale's character, Eva. I play her sister, Valerie, in the movie. And my character she's intense. I would say that if a super overprotective mom and a true crime podcaster who's obsessed plus a CI operative had a baby,
Wow.
and then that baby never went to therapy, that's Valerie. So she's intense. And to prepare for it, honestly, I went to the bookstore and I went through the aisles of books on serial killers just to get my red flags going and my spidey senses tingling. And yeah, that's always fun.
Okay. What is it about acting that gets you excited? Because again, this is not your first time doing this. You've been acting for a while. I remember seeing you on the 4400, which I was mad when that went away.
Me too.
Also on CSI, I watched that as well. What is it about acting that's fascinating to you that makes you want to keep doing it?
Well, I think it's the opportunity to step into new shoes of the character each time, and not just that, but genre hopping as well. Like you just mentioned a couple of projects from a sci-fi drama to procedural crime show to now this comedy thriller, and it's really really fun to be using different parts of my artistry to step into different genres and tones, whether it's comedy or drama. And I love that for a living I get to use my powers of curiosity and empathy to play different characters and step into new worlds. It's endlessly fascinating, and it always presents a new challenge.
Okay. How did you get started? How did you get started in the whole thing? Did somebody discover you walking down the street, or did you?
No. I was always interested in the arts as a kid, and my mom's in the medical field. My dad was a retired professional hockey player, so arts was not necessarily in, the zeitgeist of my family. But I think I always found it as an outlet. And then when I was a young teen, I begged my mom for an agent, and she's like, "Okay, I guess we're gonna do this." And I'm like, "Yeah, mom, because I'm gonna be too old to get in the biz unless we get going on this." And so I got my start in Hollywood North. I grew up in Toronto, Canada, and
Hmm.
started doing professional productions. I think my first job was when I was like 13,
Okay.
and then just kept going from there.
Your dad was a professional hockey player, like in the
He was,
NHL or somewhere else.
yeah, NHL.
What? That's pretty impressive, right?
Yes, yeah.
Did you now when you were growing up and he was in the NHL? Were you like, my dad's a big deal, or not really?
Well, he was retired, so he wasn't actively playing on teams when by the time I was born. But yeah, he was a big deal. Like I, especially dads or teachers at school were like, can I get your dad's autograph? So yeah, it was. I mean, especially growing up in Canada, where you know hockey reigned supreme. It
Right.
was it was a big deal.
Right. Okay. All right. So you do other things other than act, but
I
the
do.
number one thing that you're doing right now is you're a new mom.
I am a new mom.
That's
Yeah.
that's a whole nother level of hobby, work, fun,
Uh-huh.
play, all these different things. How's that experience been for you?
I have wanted to be a mom for a long time. It's a role that I've been very excited about. And I will say that it's everything that I hoped it could be, but more specifically being my son Griffin's mom is so much more magical than I thought I could
Mm.
have even imagined. It's like stumbling into happiness. Like we
Yeah.
project how we think we're going to feel, but sometimes we really can't imagine or step into a level of joy or happiness that until it arrives. And so that's where I'm at,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, that happened to me 3 times. With my kids, I was just all like into doing everything, and then my kids got here, and I'm like, well, now I got to keep these 3 young people alive.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. Mom, help me! I don't know how to change a diaper.
Yeah.
Why is this baby crying?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All these different things. Um, you also have some other hobbies as well, in addition to being a mom, in addition to acting. So tell me about some of those adventures that you do outside when you're not working or being mom.
Yeah, sure. Well, I do love to travel. Travel, I will always want to step into new cultures and new places and feel like a little bit uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
in the ways that travel can open your eyes up to so many things. Been to Costa Rica and
Mm-hmm.
Zimbabwe and South Africa recently. But I also am a photographer, so I love taking
Wow.
pictures and um, a lot of my friends' life events like weddings and new babies and that sort of thing. And then I love to dance. I was hip hopping until my 8th month of pregnancy, um, which you can imagine, like this huge belly. It was some.
Why were you just because you just like to dance,
Yeah,
or
because it was fun and I honestly felt really powerful and I felt really powerful creating life. And so, you mix that with a sick hip hop beat and it's a big endorphin producer. So yeah, I was dancing up until it was I was like, okay, now I can't dance anymore. I gotta just slowly walk from A to B and that's enough.
what was your favorite? What was your go-to hip hop song? Did you have a favorite, or was it just all of it? Do you have one,
Oh gosh.
or an artist, either a song or an artist?
Yeah, I mean, this is not exactly hip hop, but I would say that I love a good Dua Lipa dance
Ah,
track. Yeah,
okay, okay,
yeah.
all right, okay. You got some Dua Lipa moves. Okay. What else do you have going on? What about your next projects? Anything you're working on in the future?
Yep. Well, I just recently produced a lovely holiday rom-com called Jingle Bell Love that aired on Roku this past holiday season, and I'm also working at producing and writing some more romantic comedies for me to either direct or star in. So I'm hoping those get um, a little further down the line so I can share more about them soon.
Okay. Balancing life and work. How,
Yes.
how do you how do you manage that being a new mom and then trying to create projects and working on projects all the time?
I think it's getting really good at being able to turn parts of my brain on, off, and on very quickly. So if my little one goes down for a nap and I've got like 30 minutes, then I dive right back into work mode. And then, and I think it's also realizing that balance is sort of a misnomer. Like there's never going to be an actual like pieces of the pie where all of everything is equal sized. You know, it's kind of an all or nothing sometimes as well. So in a certain season of my life or in a certain day, it could be it'll all like work out in the wash, but balance is not something I'm trying to focus on in a in an evenly distributed sort of way. If that makes sense.
Understood. Understood. Finally, I want you to leave us with some words of encouragement, something that somebody might see you and say, okay, Brooke's got it going on. She's a mom. Her dad was a professional hockey player. She's a successful actress. But a lot of people don't see the things that you have to go through to get to where you are. So I want you to leave people with some words of encouragement for anything that they might be going through during a difficult time in their life.
I guess I would say that, sometimes we think that we're so alone in our struggles. There's this quote by Daniel Gilbert, Stumbling into Happiness. It's called, if you're like most people, then like most people, you don't realize you're like most people.
Mm-hmm.
And that speaks to maybe whether or not we think we're exceptional, but I think it also speaks to sometimes we think that we're struggling on our own in our own ways. And I think sometimes I know as a new mom, it's been very comforting to realize that the things that I'm going through are something that a lot of other people are going through. So just know that even if you think that you're on this journey and then the struggle alone, you're really not. And there's a lot of other people that would love to both commiserate and cheer you on where you're at and know that everything's a phase.
All right. Okay. Some beautiful words of wisdom to end on. Brook Nevin, thank you very much for your words of wisdom. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Wisdom.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for streaming with us on WUSA 9 Plus. I'll see you weekday mornings on Get Up DC starting at 4:30 a.m.